everybody, this is Heather. I am Heather, and today I'm here to talk to you a bit about December Daily and my motivational tips for staying on track with it. I had recently done a December Daily stash kit share as well as a Throwback Thursday of all my December dailies, so you can check those out. And I had mentioned doing this video and there was a couple people who showed interest, so I figured I would. December Daily is something that really excites me, and I'm even more excited this year than usual. I guess it's just because I'm excited for the season, and I don't know, I'm pumped about it. So I wanted to share that excitement with you. This will be my 4th year doing December Daily, and so I feel like I've got 3 good years under my belt of what to do and what not to do, of course, because I learn something new every time I do it. And first of all, let's talk about what December Daily is. So if you've never heard of the project, I really suggest going to Ali Edwards' site and watching her video about it. She is the one who created the project, and her video is really cool. It shows a bunch of video shots of her in her home with her kids and just her talking about what the project means to her, and I thought it was really cute. And so anyways, basically December Daily is an album, typically a mini album, where you document each day leading up to Christmas. And document can be taken rather literally or loosely. Some people do it sort of a journal style and talk about what they did each day, which has been my method in the past, and some people do it more of just a record of events that have happened in December, maybe like top 25 moments in December, and you have one story for each day, but that story didn't necessarily happen on each day of December. Maybe they happened multiple on one day, so you are recording, just breaking them up anyways. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, Ali Edwards' video will help explain what December Daily is. And the next thing is how do we do December Daily? So people have different methods for this as well, and the way I do it is I like to sort of get my album started before December starts. So this is what I have so far. I've created the cover, and I'm just using these binder rings to hold my pages in for now. I will later be binding it with my cinch, and the holes are already punched for that. And then I've just built my first page, and this is what it looks like. I shared it in a different video, but it's just sort of a title page, and this year I'm using these pocket pages by Snap, Simple Stories, and then I will continue adding. But I like to build my pages as I go, but I also do several days at a time. So some people sit down every single day and complete the page for that day in the same evening that it happened, whereas I find, because I don't have a specific time of day that I can do it regularly, I find it easier to do, say, 3 or 4 pages at a time, so I don't necessarily document on the day that things happened, but I still get everything documented approximately by the end of December. Usually a few days into January, I finish my album. So my next topic is how to get started, and then I will follow that up with how to stay motivated, because I think that's also really important. So getting started, I really suggest either buying a pre-made kit or creating your own kit from your stash. And I think limiting the products you use really helps to make your decisions easier during the month, and your album will also look a bit more cohesive and thoughtful, although that's not always what's important to me. I've used a mishmash of supplies and I still like the way it turns out. This year, if you watched my stash kit video, I did make it a bit more cohesive, and I'm using the Jasmine Jones December Daily Kit, which is available on Ali Edwards' site, but I also added a lot of my own stash into that. My second tip for getting started is using items that excite you. So that will really help you stay motivated later on if you love the products you're using. Secondly, in that topic, I would suggest using items you're familiar with. And I don't mean remembering every single thing that's in your kit. I mean, if you're not used to using something, don't put it in your kit. Say you've never been good at using buttons, you don't know how to use them, and you're a little uncomfortable with them, I wouldn't put those in your kit, because December Daily is hard enough to stay on track as it is. That's a challenge in itself, so I don't suggest challenging yourself in other ways by using products that you don't like or don't excite you. Next tip for getting started is to organize your kit. So I put mine in an iris container from Michaels, and I showed this in a previous video too, but it's all in this container, and just looking at the container gets me excited, and I just love everything that's in here. I'm trying to open my container, goodness. And I put all my embellishments in this cute little box, which, as I mentioned before in a different video, just makes me want to drool because I love all the embellishments. So I'm just looking at my list here. Yes, organizing your kit will definitely help you stay on track later on. This is an optional tip, which I don't actually do myself, but one thing that you can do to make things much easier for yourself is to actually pre-make or pre-plan all your pages, and then you have an idea of what it will look like, and you can just easily plop pictures in, and things are super simple. For myself, I prefer to pretty much plan every page according to the pictures that I have, because I like to pick embellishments in papers according to what the picture looks like. So it's really a personal preference for that one. On days where I haven't necessarily done anything exciting, because I do mine more of a literal documentation of each day, I might follow some prompts sometimes. For example, things that I love about Christmas, I'll just write about them. Maybe I'll have a picture of an ornament to go along with it or something like that. Just sort of as a filler, I guess. My final tip for getting started excuse me, is print at home. I think this is a major thing that can slow people down a lot. If you're running out to the store even every few days to print pictures, that, I know for me, would just really bring me down, and I wouldn't want to go out to the store. If you can print at home, even just on your regular printer, onto photo paper, lots of printers print great pictures. I often print 8.5 by 11. I put my pictures in a Word document, size them how I want, and just print onto 8.5 by 11 photo paper, and it works great. So that's a huge thing in my opinion. Okay, so now we're going to move on to how to stay motivated. So my first major tip is be excited. Be excited for December Daily. Follow people who are also doing December Daily and who can inspire you, and allow their pages to inspire you. I think that's really important. Ali Edwards has amazing pictures. Her style is very clean and white, which I love, but I can't actually do that. I just love I guess embellishing and distressing too much to have the same style as her, but it still inspires me and I can still make it my own. There's tons of others out there too. Next tip is to get your family involved. If they're excited about it, you will also be excited. So get them to save tickets, take pictures of themselves, and encourage them to get in the Christmas spirit. This is something that I haven't been great at in the past, and I hopefully will get my husband involved this year a little bit more. Next tip is do fun things. Do things that are Christmassy and holiday spirited, and when you do those things, you will want to document them in your December Daily, and that's how I find it anyways. I really am more motivated to do fun things and go out and hang out with people because I can put it in my album, as silly as that sounds. It's ridiculous, really, but I think that helps me anyways, so if it can help you, go for it. So my next tip is for when you, or if you, fall behind. I hate saying I need to catch up on scrapbooking because that's just something I've never believed in. I just scrapbook what I want to when I want to, and I don't worry about ever catching up per se, but in December Daily, I do feel the need to stay caught up, I suppose. So don't feel bad if you're 10 days behind. You always have time to catch up, I suppose. But I really suggest keeping a list of what you did each day and maybe a list of stories that you want to document for those days. So I often do that in my day timer, or I will just keep a list of December 1st, I did this. Whatever works for you, that will be good to later look back on so you know what you're supposed to document for those days. Another thing to go with that is that our memories will change over time. So the story that I would tell about something the day that it happened is going to be very different than the story I would tell months down the line. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I might have a broader perspective of something that has happened later on, which can create unique journaling. Despite that, with that being said, I still prefer to finish my December daily pretty close to when December has ended, just because I don't like leaving a project unfinished, and I want to have the album to look through right away to remember December because I just love it. I love the holiday spirit and I want to remember it immediately. So I think that wraps it up. I'm also going to put this all into list form and show it on my blog. So if you want these tips, maybe if you want to print them out or something, I will have it all on my blog in a really cohesive format. I hope this video has really gotten you excited for December Daily and given you some ideas on how to get started and how to stay motivated. If you've never done the project before, I highly suggest trying it because it's just so fun and it's such a great feeling to have this completed album of everything you did in the month, of such a fun, spirited month, and I really appreciate having these albums. I love looking back at them. They're some of my favorite albums that I've made, and the memories that I collect are just wonderful to look back on. So I really suggest doing this project. I hope my video didn't scare you. It was intended to really help support you in your December daily. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to ask, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out my December Daily Stash Kit video, as well as my Throwback Thursday December Daily video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.